cultural factotum collected on a regular basis. At present, Proctor was preparing to leave for a visit to relatives in Alsace, so Constance had agreed to take over the epistolary matters. Here's a note from Corey Swanson. Open it, if you please. She attached a photocopy of a letter from John Jay. Her thesis won the Roswell Prize. Indeed, I attended the ceremony. I'm sure Corey appreciated it. It is rare that a graduation ceremony offers more than an anesthetizing parade of platitudes and mendacity, set to the tiresome refrain of pomp and circumstance. Pendergast took a sip of tea at the recollection. This one did. Constance sorted through more mail. And here's a letter from Vincent d'Agosta and Laura Hayward. He nodded for her to scan it. It's a thank you note for the wedding gift and once again for the dinner party. Pendergast inclined his head as she put the letter aside. The month before, on the eve of d'Agosta's wedding, Pendergast had hosted a private dinner for the couple, consisting of several courses he had prepared himself, paired with rare wines from his cellar. It was this gesture, more than anything, that had convinced Constance that Pendergast had recovered from his recent emotional trauma. She read over a few other letters, then put aside those of interest and tossed the rest on the fire. How is the project coming, Constance? Pendergast asked as he poured himself a fresh cup of tea. Very well. Just yesterday I received a packet from France, the Bureau en Sostre de Dijon, which I'm now trying to integrate with what I've already collected from Venice and Louisiana. When you have the time, I do have a couple of questions I'd like to ask about Augustus Robespierre St-Cyr Pendergast. Most of what I know consists of oral family history, tall tales, legends, and some whispered horror stories. I'd be glad to share most of them with you. Most? I was hoping you'd share them all. I fear there are skeletons in the Pendergast family closet, figurative and literal, that I must keep even from you. Constance sighed and rose. As Pendergast returned to his book of poetry, she walked out of the library, across the reception hall lined with museum cabinets full of curious objects, and through a doorway into a long, dim space paneled in time-darkened oak. The main feature of the room was a wooden refectory table, almost as long as the room itself. The near end of the table was covered with journals, old letters, census pages, yellowed photographs and engravings, court transcripts, memoirs, reprints from newspaper microfiche and other documents, all arranged in neat stacks. Beside them sat a laptop computer, its screen glowing incongruously in the dim room. Several months before, Constance had taken it upon herself to prepare a genealogy of the Pendergast family. She wanted both to satisfy her own curiosity and to help draw Pendergast out of himself. It was a fantastically complex, infuriating, and yet endlessly fascinating undertaking. At the far end of the long room, beyond an arched door, was the foyer leading to the mansion's front door. Just as Constance was about to take a seat at the table, a loud knock sounded. Constance paused, frowning. They rarely entertained visitors at 891 Riverside Drive, and never did one arrive unannounced. Knock! Another rap resounded from the entryway, accompanied by a low grumble of thunder. Smoothing down her dress, Constance walked down the length of the room, through the archway and into the foyer. The heavy front door was solid, with no fisheye lens, and she hesitated a moment. When no third rap came, she undid the upper lock, then the lower, and slowly opened the door. There, silhouetted in the light of the porte-cochere, stood a young man. His blonde hair was wet and plastered to his head. His rain-spattered features were fine and quintessentially Nordic, with a high domed forehead.